I'm fading you in. You got it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of F a Name Radio Show. Hey, I like that. Okay. As y'all see, I got a special guest right here, TT Baby, B-Dub. But I also have some other amazing guests. But first, let me start with my co-host, my husband, the love of my life, Mr. Skip McDougal.
Bonjour.
Next to him is his friend, Mr. Jeremy Robinson. And y'all don't get jealous, but I'm about to be super extra because that's what me and her do.
Of course.
Over there on the other end of that table.
Get extra.
Extra. Gorgeous. My boo since '09. Looking lovely. This young man's mommy.
Can you see?
They can see it right there. The camera right there, girl. They can see it. Miss Queen.
Yes.
Garrett Grant. I did miss that. I'm sorry. I was at your wedding.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And for those,
I am jealous of that intro.
I know that intro was fire. I hear it so
I mean, that's what we do.
That was
That's
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
This has been my boo since '09.
I'm
This
just
was
saying.
extra.
I'm 09 boo.
With the hair. Did y'all see the hair?
Man,
So,
I don't like that
Today's
transition.
episode is entitled Happy Wife, Happy Life, Happy Spouse, Happy House. But before we jump deep into that, I know, you like this. Can I have this? Thank you. We gonna start, get to know who we have here today. You just won't let this go. So I'm gonna start with Jeremy, since you're right there next to my hubby. We gonna find out this.
I think he want to get introduced too.
No,
I think
I didn't. I not give you enough.
I know, I'm doing like this.
Listen.
Okay, Jeremy, you know Jeremy.
So, Jeremy,
Yes.
you have been with your beautiful woman for 18 years?
I've been knowing her for 18 years. Been in a relationship for almost 6 years now.
Okay. Nice. Okay. And can you tell us a little bit about how you met?
She's actually my sister's friend. I had a crush on her ever since she came to her, my sister. Yeah, she was, we like the same thing with me. That's my type, sure. And I mean, yeah, I don't regret it. I don't regret it. Everybody got ups and downs, but I don't regret it. But who I chose.
That is dope. That's dope. I like that. That sister friend. I like that. Oh, look, you got a moose. Thank you.
You like, give it her.
Right. So,
Okay, I'm more jealous now.
because he's the star of the show, you guys. You gotta understand that. The real star. Yeah, y'all just extras in the background for him.
He's the share, we're and them.
Yes.
That's what we are.
So it says you have 2 boys
Yeah.
and you like eating out at different restaurants. Now, can I tell you, honey, I love a foodie. A good restaurant.
I am a fool. Yes, I am.
That is. What's one of your favorite places to eat?
Oh, everywhere. No, I'm just really any place that's good. I like trying new things, trying new food. I'm not scared.
Favorite food.
Favorite food?
Yeah.
That's not a favorite.
A cheeseburger.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so could you suggest like a really good cheap, like a good burger spot?
Good burger spot? Of course, but if you want something real good, you want to try different varieties of chicken, burgers, and everything, go to, what's that bar? DJ's.
Okay.
DJ's Bar and Grill.
Okay.
It's really good. It's really nice. They got different varieties. It's real. The drinks, everything is real nice. Check that out. Yeah, check that out.
I consider myself to be a little bit of a foodie also. You know, so
Yes.
I like to try new things, new restaurants.
Yes.
Get a little review.
I like that. I like that. So, last question. Any advice you want to dish out before we move forward? Yeah, that's what I said.
About relationships?
Yes.
Relationships is hard. Very hard.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
You get tired of the person. You get aggravated. You do. But the both of y'all have to find that how did we met the first time?
Mm-hmm.
What made me be attracted to this woman? And you know, I love her to death. I've been going through some problems, but kind of emotional. I told her myself, I know I can feel it, but I love her to death. It's just that y'all just be strong. Both of y'all just have to be strong. Just come together. It's a relationship takes both.
Yes.
Take both. We got two boys to take both of us. I got two. I got two. I got one boy here autism. I just found out my second one had autism. I don't give a damn. I still love him.
Yeah.
I still love him. I'm still stick by beside her. And if we not together, or even, I'm still going. If she need me to pay a bill, I'm gonna pay a bill. If she need me to fix the car, I'm gonna fix the car. I ain't stopping taking care of her. She got to take care of my boy. You got to take him to school. You got, I can go on and on. Like, you just have to
Stick it out.
You stick it out. Stick it out. Be strong.
You know, one of the things I love that you said, and I find myself doing this in my own relationship, is having to remember why you fell in love with them.
Yeah.
Even if it takes going back to look at a picture.
I do not have any money. Do not bring nothing.
Even if it's going back and looking at a picture. Or like with me, I save everything. I have hotel keys. I have stubs from the movies. I keep all of that. Little love box. Yeah, that's what I said. So it's like when I need that moment where we just frustrated with each other, it's like I go back and be like, oh, I remember when he did this, or when we went here, and be like, oh, that's why I love him. It's like, so I like that. I like that. So Miss Queen,
That's me.
that's you. All right, tell me a little bit about your significant other, because you just got married.
Yes, I
She is a newlywed,
yes,
y'all.
I am.
Yes, clap out to that newlywed. Yes.
So, me and my husband, we met at work. And it wasn't one of them, like, stereotypical, oh, I want to hook up type of thing. You know, like, he was really cool. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I was a supervisor, and I frequently went to this particular house. I was supervisor of a group home. And I would frequently go to this house because the supervisors had to fill in for anyone that called off. And I would always go to this house, and he was always working. And of course, the first couple of times, just like, hey, I'm your supervisor, I'm your here, whatever. But then once I started going over there more, I started noticing like his conversation was different. Like he actually had really in-depth conversations, and I'm like very moved by someone who can have an intellectual conversation, not just like dumb stuff, like and actually talking about current events, politics, religion, whatever. And we would just like get to talking. I ain't gonna lie, I was like, man,
Sound like an intro to a party.
Just-
Supervisor and
yeah, you know, employee.
Let's role play.
You know, so no, so I would be flirting, and eventually she gave me in because I'm so cute. Yeah, so that's pretty much how we met. I was a supervisor, and he was just cool. He was really like cool. We were just talking, and eventually like we moved slow because as you know, because you know me since '09, I've been through a lot. So
Yes.
it took a lot for him to like chip away at that wall. So once the finally chipped away, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna just let go and see where it goes. And he ended up being my husband.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. Now, one of the things you gotta laugh at me. So when you sent me your Bible, I was like, oh, it says lover of wine. Wait, new word. What's that word?
It's called enophile.
New word, y'all.
Yeah.
Enophile.
So-
Word of the day.
I'm one of those people that love new words. Like I actually have an app on my phone where it sends me something new every day.
Jesus.
I want to be able to have a conversation and just bust something out real quick, and you be like, huh? And I can explain it to you.
Yeah.
So yes, an enophile is basically a lover of wine, and I wouldn't consider myself a connoisseur, but I'm almost there. I absolutely love wine. I will find any reason to go to a wine tasting. I would literally like call you and be like, hey, you know, this winery that just opened what's time? You know,
my car.
okay, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to be a sommelier. I just don't got that training money. I don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was.
And you started your own wine company.
Yes, I did. In 2020, after I like out of nowhere, out of the blue, lost my father, I started. Yeah, thank you. I started my own wine company. It was called Sip Slip, and we all know for anyone who just doing something out the blue, you have to learn along the way. So it had like mild success. It was very interesting. It was a lot of bumps in the road, but I learned a lot. I reached out to a lot of people, did my own research, and the next time I come out, I'm coming out full blast. Like, I'm coming out, like, I'm rebranding, revamping, I'm getting it together. So the next time I restarted,
and he's co-signing that wine.
Right.
Even though I don't know how he knows.
Right.
But
But you hearing me.
You be hearing mommy. But the wine was amazing. She gifted us a bottle, and then it was bottles at the wedding.
Yeah, it was bottles at the wedding, yes.
And I'm still new to the wine world. I'm learning. But hers was, I think you gave me like a sweet raspberry, right?
Yes, it was a sweet raspberry. It was a port, actually. And a port is along the lines of a dessert wine. So it's not something I say that you just bust out at a random, I would say it's like occasional. Like if it's an anniversary, so, you know, you're trying to, you know, see your lady a little bit, you want to get some back in there, like I'm pull out this port.
Now I gotta get a car.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
Everybody loves the port. Now, what's the one port that we just had?
That gets you drunk really quick, like off one glass.
you talking about the Taylor port?
Yes.
Okay, so let me hit y'all onto something. I found out that was considered the TikTok wine. I was hip to it before TikTok was even like a real thing. So yes, it does. It gets you there very, very quickly. I'm gonna suggest that you guys just get the real deal. It's the Taylor Port. It's a 10-year age. That one right there. Just saying. Thank you, lady. That's all I'm saying.
I trust your word.
Yes,
That's definitely.
and don't get me wrong, the Taylor Port that you find at this like the TikTok wine, I'm not gonna lie, it is good. But I'm telling you, if you really want something with like a full body, I'm telling you, get the 10-year age port, and it's gonna change your life. It's so good. So
I have to definitely check that out. I have to read you guys her bio because it was hilarious that she sent me. And
I just want to let you guys know I do not proofread, so it's a lot of grammatical errors. So she's going to be stuck on some errors.
I always love a good laugh. It never fails that she gives me a good laugh.
Wait, first off, this looks like a lot. I ain't even.
But you know I talk a lot. It's like the plan.
That's a lot. Wait a minute, that's better than mine.
Yeah.
I have a sentence.
Because I be in depth. I was coming here trying
Did you
to
talk about your childhood?
I had to bring up where I came from.
Did you tell where your parents came from and how they met? And
Listen, you have to hear it. You have to hear it. She started off with saying, I honestly hate bios.
I did.
Okay.
do you?
She said, wait, listen. She said, they remind me of orientation for a new job when they make you introduce yourself and why you choose to work there. She said, but a snippet of my life is I was raised on the west side by
My granny.
Your granny, till I was 12 and went to live with my mom. From there, I started pimping. I'm going to say the N-word since we got ears right here. And slapping the B-word.
Yes.
And then she was just kidding. Why do I feel like that's the truth? She out here pimping.
if that's the first thing that come off.
That's why I said I had to read this. It was freaking hilarious. I was like, that's how you came up. I'm pimping and you slapping. And with a name like Queen, you got to be at the top.
You gotta let them know what, you gotta let them know how you be queen out here in these streets.
Okay, in these streets.
That's K. Streets.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, before we get in depth, I'm gonna bite these little fingers. In depth, any relationship advice? I know you wrote something here, but I'm gonna let you click.
And I'm going to stick to what I wrote. I honestly don't have any relationship advice because I am still currently learning my own relationship, you know? So I can't really give advice when I'm still learning myself, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want to sit up here and act like, oh yeah, girl, because you need to do, because I don't know. I honestly don't know. And I honestly do not have a blueprint on what a marriage is, what I'm supposed to do. I don't have a blueprint on that. You know what I'm saying? I was raised by a single grandmother. I was raised by a single mom. I don't know. I really don't know. I do know to keep people out your business. I do know not to tell everything, especially when you plan on working it out. That's just like if I be like, oh, I'm leaving him tomorrow, and I get all the girls together, and we sit up there drinking wine, some of my wine, and we sitting up there, you know what I'm saying? We sitting up there talking, and then 2 days later, where you at? Oh, we up here at the movies. I thought you said you leaving. Why? It's my business because I put you there. So if I keep you out of my business, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. We just trying to make this work. Like, we will be, our first year will be June 12th. And we're still, like, getting there. You know, we had a moments where I want to choke him out.
And you know, real quick comment, I felt bad because for the life of me, this entire time, I'm trying to remember when y'all got married. And I was there.
You was the photographer, bro. That's old age at its finest.
I just don't, you know, so it's like June 12th will be a year. It's days that I want to choke them out. It's days that I just absolutely love them. It's days that I be looking at them like, I just thought of his body slam. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. And I'm sure he feels the exact same way. So until we get to that 50 and 40 year mark where I can really give some advice, my first year, I don't got nothing to say. I'm here.
I respect.
I'm here and I'm trying to make it work, and I'm doing the best I can with what I know, and I don't know much. So here I am.
I respect. I like that. I really do. That is great advice, actually.
So I guess I'm the oldest one up here.
I'm playing. I'm 37.
I'm about to say, where you?
I will be 40.
First off.
I'm 39.
First off.
Neck and neck.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
you got my bad homie.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
My bad homie right here. My bad homie.
He the baby up here, okay?
Right.
All right, you didn't have to say that. You didn't have to go there. Jeez.
Sometimes if you get mad, I got to be like, come here, man.
Yeah, you get the baby
Give my
hug.
hand.
So, actually, it's funny with the title of the episode. It actually came from Jeremy.
Okay.
One of our rides home, and he brought it up. And I almost got in depth with him about the conversation, and I was like, you know what? No,
Yeah.
I want to stop. Because we always hear the saying, happy wife, happy life. When he told me, I don't think I've been here. When he said happy spouse, happy house, it hit me on a different level. And I say that because you always hear people say, if you take care of the wife, everything gets taken care of. And I think the reason my objective side to it is, most of the time, in most situations, the wife is the one handling everything. Which is why I stood by the happy wife, happy life, because it's like, we balance, we keep the flow of everything with the kids, the job, the everything, the bills, which is where I saw the happy wife, happy life. But then when you said happy spouse, happy house, it's like, and I don't want to say back in the day, but you know, back in the day in the marriages, it was the husband that went out and worked while the wife stayed at home. So I feel like that's where the origin of the happy wife, happy life. So I want to hear how y'all feel about that.
Okay, I got one more thing to add on that. Since you brought up back in the day, when we think of that kind of term, man, like you think about like back then when men was way simpler. Like it was way, you know what I'm saying? Most dudes, even it's like to the point of where it's like we now are like empowered to communicate in the way, you know what I'm saying, feeling shit like that. But it's like dudes back then, they didn't listen, man. Guys was simple as hell. And it's like all they had to do was like they went to like a bar or a lot or something like that, and then they'd come home and like that was about as much as they like work, go get a drink, go home. You know, and it's like that's why it's like they were simple creatures that just like kept happy by simple things. You know what I'm saying? And it's like dudes now are way more complex, and it's like it takes more to keep somebody happy, and it's just like you know what I'm saying? It's like
why does it take? Why do we feel like it takes more if it was so simple back then? Like why do we feel like it takes so much more?
Because they had less, like they just had less. They had less options. Like they had, you know what I'm saying? Like back then, like it was just manual labor jobs was like the thing that ruled the day. Like the dudes that got paid the most was guys that ran manual labor jobs. But I mean that has been broken by like Wall Street and all kind of other things. Where we see that it's just like Oh no, there's so many other ways. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? You might not feel fulfilled when like you do when all day you're doing something that's just like you might be just sitting around, but it's like everything is high stakes. It creates a different view of the world. You're not as fulfilled by just somebody simply cooking for you because it's like you can pay someone to do that, and it's like it'll cost less than trying to pay for the upkeep of keeping a wife with you. You know, it's like life as society changes, and it changes the people within it. And it's like dudes are way more complex because we do a way bigger variety of things. You know what I'm saying? Like there are more chefs now than it was like maybe in the 50s and the 40s, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you see more of that. You see more men doing things that like at different times we never would have.
Yeah.
And it's like if we branch out more, so it's like that makes you more complex. They have different points of view. All of that things like single parent. There wasn't as many single fathers back then, but there are more now. And it changes your perspective, it changes your point of view. Their view becomes something that becomes ingrained with what we have to, conduct ourselves with throughout our lives. So it's like everything ties together. It's just the same as like back then. You know, if we go back to the 30s and stuff like that, before women were really working, it wasn't even imagined that you can go out and have a career for yourself. But we live in a day and age where that's the norm. Everyone having a career.
Yeah.
And it's like it changes your perspective, it changes your view on things. You want more. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it takes more to make you happy than it would have taken a woman way back when. You know.
Yeah.
And it's like that. At least that's my view.
That's true.
It's different because of social media now and back then. Shit.
Very true.
Excuse me, back then you could have. Back then there's no social media. There's no cell phone. This man could have a family up the road. Without nobody knowing.
Yeah.
I heard that.
That
from
was
my-
common troll.
Yeah.
Common troll, man.
So I was literally gonna bring that up next because it's like, Geraldine lived down the street.
Exactly.
Like, we know, and that one little kid that looked
Right.
good, like, no, hold on, so.
I got Jeffrey Head right
Right.
He got Percy forehead.
Yes,
Very true. You know, back then it was like bring a buffalo home. You love.
Right.
Yeah, players buffalo. Now they want you to take them to Dubai on a date. Literally, want you to fly them out. Who was flying you out to Dubai on the first day?
now don't act like we didn't see, what was it, the swindler, he was taking them
the
to,
Tinder swindler.
yes, he taking them out to Dubai on their first day,
Yeah.
realistically.
Yeah.
Realistic.
Yeah.
Yes. You didn't see the Tinder swindler?
Oh man,
Bro.
this man was catfished to the millionth degree. That man was like, he had a network of women that he had paying for other women and all kind of stuff.
Paying
like,
for jets, private jets.
private jets. I mean, these aren't like just everyday women. These are women who like earn at that type of where they can like give him tens of thousands of dollars at a time. And I mean,
Literally
he has
got $500,000 credit limits and stuff. Like,
Maria, have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
You haven't seen it?
I
You gotta check it out.
have to watch that. Is that
I need to watch
Now,
that.
where is
Yeah.
that at?
Netflix.
Okay,
It's on Netflix.
okay.
And when you watch it, you're gonna be like, how was he able?
Just
Oh, and he's still out here doing it.
and you went to prison.
What?
You got out. And you started back again.
Again. They were about to give him a show where he was like, it's like a low-key a dating type show.
Yeah.
Listen, this man is like the ultimate con man. Like,
It's
Ocean
like
ain't got
past
nothing.
comment. I was just not understanding how these women were able to be so taken aback. I mean, clearly he was preying on them, but these women, he was just literally just telling them things like, your eyes are beautiful. I love the way your hair flows. And they were like,
Oh, they ain't had no.
here
I
goes my
was
credit
saying.
And then like, take my credit cards
Take
and
$10,000.
like in his hair. And when he would call one to
Somebody
finance
daddy
the trip
wasn't
for
home.
another one. And when he got
I need to
there,
look at that one.
yeah.
I'm gonna look at that.
It was stressed out. Like I would have never thought that it was that easy. Like he was out here like.
Listen, there are stories that make you feel like, no matter how confident of a dude you are, sometimes you hear a story and be like, I ain't got no game, man. Like, me out here doing this.
Right.
Listen, I have zero game. Like,
Getting
if
private
that's
jets.
Yes.
To take another woman out,
I
to
see.
call the other woman for more money.
like, come on, man.
I
Like,
need to up my game.
I'm doing was something wrong. Like, he need to teach classes. Like,
No, he was. Like, that was the thing. He was, after he got out of jail, they was going to give him a TV show. He also had started an online, like, business class to teach people basically how to con and call it something else.
yeah.
They literally let this man start his own business online, and people were actually paying.
The way my bank account is set up, I should have took that class.
I don't know, man. We're in the wrong profession.
Clearly, because people are out here able to swindle people out of jets. Can I at least get a house? I cannot swindle you out of a house. I don't even need it.
Just give me a couple thousand. I'm good. I'll be quiet.
I want normal stuff. I don't even want a jet. I don't even want to go to Dubai. I just want normal stuff. And this man was out here getting flued out, y'all.
Yes.
Not just him, but he paying for him and
Yeah.
another woman
From another woman from another.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he had at least 10. I think he had at least 10
Yeah.
women,
Yeah.
and they were all intertwined. And so when this one ran out of money, he would make her go and try to get her credit score up. And while she's working on that, he'd go to the next one and get what he can from her. And when he basically drained her, he'd go to the next one and say, "Oh, just call them and tell them this and that." Like, he was creating them fake Social Security cards. He created fake W-2s so that they can get these credit limits to keep supplying his lifestyle. Like, it was crazy.
I can't even get credit to go get a car, and here he out here financing the whole
I can't
lifestyle.
even get a secured credit card.
I just spent 8 years getting my credit good.
Listen, my man's. This is what it was. He was able to get the most out of them instantly. Like, I mean, instantly. Because it's like, you can't give nobody no time to really, like, sit back and be like, what is this? No, like, he's sucking them dry. Like,
Literally.
Yeah.
man,
Literally.
ASAP. Like,
Question for
But
you
you know,
guys.
people was hypnotizing people. He hypnotizing them.
And I need
Just-
that
just-
shirt
Right.
over here.
Right.
So, question for you guys: should the whole saying "happy wife, happy life" just disappear since
Yeah.
times have changed?
I think so,
Yes.
because
You
I
agree?
I definitely think so, because in a relationship, it's a compromise, and we need to be making each other happy. It's not always about what can you do for me. It's like, what can we do for each other to make this thrive past this honeymoon stage.
Yes.
So I do think that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do feel like a man should, hey, why make her feel wanted and loved, but I feel like the woman should do the same as well to her. Dudes like to get hyped up. I'm sure you love when Kiana coming out, ooh, you looking good. Y'all love it too. So yeah, I do think.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
you love
love
to
the
get pumped up
attention,
too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I do feel like happy wife, happy life do need to get what they say. What are you saying? Yes. It needs to be tweaked a little bit, because it's not just that. You know what I'm saying? Things have changed, and it's not just about, it's all about me being happy. Like, no, because he has to be, he has to be happy as well. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like they need to upgrade that a little bit, because it's not just all about us. You know what I'm saying? It's like we can't be selfish about that. You know
everybody
what I'm saying?
got options out here.
Yeah,
Everybody
everybody
got
got options. So it's like, if you want to make that work within the household, then yes, we both need to. What do we need to do within these walls to make this work? It's not just about you. What do we need? Us. What do we need?
We can make both of ourselves happy as a couple.
This brings me to a point. We spoke on this earlier before we started, but I was saying that one of the things, like, it's got to be beyond a point. Something that's thrown everything out of whack is just the fact that women can earn more money than men. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that throws a lot of those things out of whack, to where it's like that becomes something that's the all-encompassing thing of a relationship. And it's like, hey, it's got to be bigger than that. Like, we live in such a topsy-turvy world that it's like, we don't ever really, we keep talking about traditional values and shit like that, but it's like, we don't live in a traditional
We
world.
haven't been traditional, but you know what though? I will say this: before I met my husband, and when I was dating, unfortunately, we do have a lot of men that want a traditional woman, but they don't want to be the traditional man.
That part.
Yeah, and when I say that, it's like, I am a dater. Like, we not about to be chilling in my house. I don't need an assistant to watch TV. No, I'm not about to be just displaying all of these skills for you.
Right.
And you just chill.
Come on now, tell them the
That's
truth.
not what we about to
Shame
do
the
here.
devil.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we're not about to do. Like, the one thing I used to hate when I would date is, what do you bring to the table? I bring the table to the table. That's what I bring, because I'm not out here just chilling and just looking good.
First
No,
off,
I work.
we gotta make this motherfucking
The
table.
table. No.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
They don't
I
understand.
hate
The
this
table.
thing.
No. What we bring it to the table. The table was there.
Yeah.
The table was there. We supposed to bring it. We supposed to be 50-50 on this table. If I put this on the table, you gotta put this on the table. It don't have to be all the time. It's not 50-50 over mine, and I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I'm the man. I do what I have to do for my family. I'm supposed to do. I'm not about to be, I'm not about to moan. I'm not about to do anything. Not because I'm the man, but I would like some help.
Well,
I would love it.
and this is what I say when I say I bring a table to the table, meaning I'm coming with my own everything.
Yes.
So I'm not just coming to you for no handout. I'm not coming to you because I want a purse or my nails done. I can do that myself.
Yeah.
So when you ask
Yeah.
me, well, what do you bring to the table? Bro, I brought my own table. So what we gonna do? Are we gonna build these chairs so we can sit up next to them, or like what are we
Listen.
gonna do?
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
and that's it. And I like the way you think too. I really do love the way you think, because a lot of women do not think like that. A lot of men don't think. It goes both ways.
Yeah, it does.
Both ways.
Especially now.
Yeah,
Especially
yes,
now, like we're talking
yes.
about the new mindset of men
Yes.
and women, and like how we were speaking on, like back in the day when Cleophas was coming home with the bacon, Auntie Ann cooked it. But now, Auntie Ann can go out there and slaughter that pig herself.
And see, that's what I was about to say, because like one of my biggest things is like, especially when I was dating, is like sometimes women feel complacent in the fact of like being able to cook and thinking that we can get you over. It's like, I don't need you to cook. You know.
I can make my own ramen noodles.
I know that's right. Yes.
Even better, you didn't have my cooking.
Yes.
Hey
But
man,
here's the thing.
it's like I don't need you to do that. Like we are in 1948.
But you may not need it.
Yeah.
But when I was dating, I literally would have men ask me like, so what you cooking tonight? I'm making myself X, Y, and Z. Oh, so I can't come through for a plate? No, bro. Like, why do you feel like that? It's like they literally wanted us to perform circus acts to prove why we need to be chosen. I don't need to be chosen.
They want the wifely duties before it's time.
And yes,
Feel
so
like they
when I
gotta
play
earn
out,
nothing.
and why do I got to perform all these tricks just to get a date? I don't feel like I have to do that.
Hashtag giving too much away.
I don't think
Okay.
it's a trick. I don't think it's a trick at all. It goes both ways. Like some women want some man to spend like hundreds and hundreds of dollars on the first day. Hey, I can take you to the park. We can go chill. We trying to get to know each other. I'm not trying to buy your love. I'm trying to get to know you. So if we can go ahead and chill, go to a park, that's a good first date just to know someone. But some women out here want lobster, want shrimp, they want that purge. Oh, I want to see what you can do for me.
And that also depends on the type of woman that you're going after, too.
Right.
Because everybody is so hung up on types. Oh, I only date this type, only date that type.
Yeah,
Now,
you
and I feel
gotta
like
change that.
exactly
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, because that's why a lot of them by themselves.
Exactly.
Right.
Now piggybacking off of what you just said about going to the park. When I was dating, I don't need to do that whole big shablam. My logic was this: we exchanged numbers, we had a conversation over the phone. How about we meet up for lunch somewhere? How about we go to the park? Let's see how we vibe. And if we vibe, how about we discuss a first date to see if we even want to move forward with even seeing this is going to go? But then the minute I was coming across was like, oh no, I can just come over and chill with you. I didn't ask you that, bro. I said let's go to the park.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you can just cook something. Once again, bro, that's not what I asked. I said, let's go somewhere that doesn't involve my address.
In your house.
In my house.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I feel like some women have become so lax with just needing a warm body that these men are just like, well, I don't got to put in work with you because this one over here just wants somebody to come over and that's what they're going to be doing. No, that's not me.
I don't think that's entitlement. I think that's, I'm not trying to offend nobody, but parents matter. And I think for the women, because I got a sister and she in these situations and it's all about the dad. It's all about the dad. You know, like dads are important, mothers are important, parents are important.
Yes, definitely.
And when you see women seeking that type of shelter, they need their daddy, honey.
Daddy,
okay.
It needs bad.
And that's why I stay with my kids. We have a hard time. Yes, I did find some numbers on the phone, 3 or 4 numbers on the phone. Yes, but I do this for my kids. I still try to get hope. It is guys up here just like me, waiting for a good woman or trying, at least trying. I try every day. Every day I can't get it. It's like I can't get it right. But I'm still right here trying. I will go home. I will go home and see how she's doing. I will, if you need anything, I still do it because I still have hope for my relationship. I don't have a good one. I don't.
This might sound crazy, Jeremy, but it's the realest shit I've ever said. Is she might not be the end all for you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people are put in your life for a reason, a season, and you might.
And which one is it?
It might be one of those where you guys needed each other.
Yeah.
And y'all went through that hurdle. Y'all jumped through life, and now you at the end, and it's time for y'all maybe to just separate. Because you're missing out on that woman. Because I can tell you on the live, any of these, it's probably a woman now like, shoot, I wish my man would act like that.
Yeah.
I got a child's father who, until my daughter was, well, how was she, 17? So until she was, 15? He did nothing. He went and made 3 other kids by 3 other women and did nothing. And it's like, I sit here and I listen to you and I listen to my husband and how he takes care of his son, and they be like, and they complain, and it's like, I wish I could get that.
Right.
I get $35 whole a week for the 17-year-old. You know, she'd eat that in a day.
And the thing is like a lot of it is guys out there that try.
Yes.
It is guys. I can go to the 9 yards. You want me to keep talking? I got child support been given on me in my own house. I still pay all the bills. I still don't care. That's my woman. I still love her. She has to know that I still do.
Right.
She has to. You got a house. Shit. Even if she want to move, I would take out a loan from my house. I would buy her another house because I love her that much, and she got my kids. And I want to make sure they're straight.
Right.
At the end of the day, I don't care if she's mad at me. All I know, I got to do what I got to do. You got to get that hanger off to the side and let me do my work. Let me be a man too. The thing is, like, she's been hurt so many times, and I see it. But the thing is, like, it's like
trauma is real, and it will hinder you from moving on.
Yes,
It definitely is. But if you live in the past, you can't move forward
At all.
At all.
Yes.
And at some point, you gotta have to want to heal. At some point.
Yeah.
We all done had relationship PTSD where we just like, oh, I'll never trust again. I'll never do this again. I'll never do that again. But at one point, we just say, you know what? I want to be happy for me. So you have to be wanting to move forward. And you know what? I had to go to counseling. I'm a big advocate. Counseling it works. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to go and purge out them feelings and purge out them tears just so you can start that healing process within yourself. Because truth be told, if you ain't whole yourself, how am I going to complete you when I ain't
You
whole?
already know, girl.
So it's just like, I can't be out here trying to be like, oh, I'm completing you, and I'm not even complete. I'm missing a couple pieces. So therefore, that counseling comes in, and I was dating myself for a long time too because it's like, you know what? I'm not happy with nobody. So it's me. It's me. So let me focus on me.
That's a grown woman state.
Yeah.
Admit that it's you.
It was me.
You were the problem.
Yeah. And I'll say that in a minute. Like, it was me. So once I realized, like, it's me because nobody can make me happy. I was mad. I was frustrated. I was this. I was that. And I just said, you know what? Maybe it's not working for me. So let me just fall back. And I dated myself, and I was so happy. I was able to, like, travel. I was able to take myself out on dates, go to the movies. I was so content before I met my husband with being by myself that I literally was almost missed out on a husband because I was so comfortable with being by myself. I was like, wait, do I really need you?
But the crazy thing though, you shouldn't lose that though, man. Because like you should still. I tell her all the time. I swear it's the hardest thing to get her to just like get something for herself, or just to like go like, what do you want to do? You can just go do that yourself. Like I say that all the time. Like you can just go. Man.
It is hard, and I can honestly say, and me and him have had this discussion because, like you said, parents is everything. And don't get it wrong, I love my mother. Like, you know my mom. I love my mom, but my mom was the only child, So when she had 2 kids, nothing changed. It was still about her, her, her. And seeing that, I got older and I was like, oh God, I'm never gonna be like that. So I have a phobia of wanting to do something for myself because I watched her do for her. I'd rather give my last. I give my last. Everybody in this room before I go buy me a pair of shoes.
She will. I can buy that. Yeah.
And it's really hard. And it's one of the things that the therapist told me: just do little things to give to myself. And it's still hard. I remember I went and bought a $300 wig. I had the money. I had it. I left the store, got in the car, and I called him on the phone instantly and said, that was dumb, wasn't it? I should take this back. And he was like, why? Do something for yourself. I said, that $300 could have went to And he was like, but you never do anything for yourself.
Yeah.
The whole car ride home, I kept calling him, like, you sure I shouldn't return this real quick?
Right.
Like,
Just trying to talk yourself
out
out of
it.
Right.
Like, knowing I had it at that moment. So it definitely goes back to your parents, how they mold you and everything. I want to kind of step out of this and get in the lighter moment. Something to make us laugh, even though we got children in the room. Cardi B did a post.
Oh, God. Here we go.
I think it was last week. And she said that there is no way possible for anybody in a relationship to have sex multiple times a day, every day.
It's bad. I mean,
Every day.
you got home all day, and you got you can.
Listen, you can have 8 days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Every day. Every day.
Sir, please back away from me. Sir, I don't got time for this. Me, you know what? I feel like that's so unrealistic. I got other things to do with my day than to be sitting up here bouncing up and down on you, bro. I don't have time. It's not even. I don't even want a relationship where where my man thinks that's something. I don't want to. I don't care if you're a nympho, if you think that's what's going to keep him. I personally don't want to do that. I want to do something. I just want to lay here and watch Lifetime.
Can we go do something? Like,
Yes.
Can we go do something?
Now let's not get into
the park.
Yes.
Can we go to the park?
Can we go to the bar and people watch? That is hey, that's an underrated thing that people don't do, but it's like it's basically an extension of what we used to do as teenagers, just going to the mall.
Right.
People watching at the mall is amazing nowadays.
So let me tell you, I used to do that with my ex remain. Like, look, who will remain nameless? Me and him used to do that, and we literally just get up and get dressed, fresh to death, and just go to the mall. We always went to Auntie Annie's for our pretzel. We would go to the food court, and we would literally walk around. I would go into some stores, and I would try on outfits that I know damn well I wasn't about to walk out with. Just to be doing some stuff. He would go in, try on some shoes, just to be trying them on, and we could do that for hours. And that would literally be our Saturday.
God, it's so fun. Going to Macy's, watching people steal.
Listen, it's funny because we laugh about that, but that's how I knew I was getting old. When that was the highlight of my day, me and him would just sit at the bar. Look at this. Look. What's his story? Making up their stories about these.
Oh God, that is the funniest thing. When you can just, it's so because we watch a lot of like Criminal Minds, detective shows.
She do too.
So it's like you do a lot of analyzing people. So we be trying to see how good are we at analyzing this person.
Yes.
So we break down their whole life.
Let me tell you, when I tell you, I feel like I should be a profiler. I'm not exaggerating. I think I have watched enough forensic files where I know that I can profile a serial killer walking down the street. Like I'm so serious because I do that. I'll be driving, or I can be just like watch TV, or I can just see some of my neighbors now, and I'd be like, he looks at them. He gets someone.
Listen, when I lived in Bedford,
why did I do that today?
Listen,
Fun,
in Chile,
The serial killer is never who you think he is.
no, never. It was a guy where we lived at in Bear Creek in Bedford. I swore up and down, he was like Dexter.
That poor man.
I swear he was like Dexter. I believe, yes. You ever seen Dexter? Where dudes cutting up people? I swear to God, he always same outfit, mild mannered car. It was like he was always fixing it or cleaning something. What you cleaning?
Why are you cleaning so much, bro?
Why is it an extra lock on your garage?
Also,
What's going on, Dexter?
See, I actually went kind of deeper. Also, he walked at a weird pace. You know how people that will like walk real
I
fast
promise you,
everywhere?
there's a guy that lives by me that does that. Like, we watch him all the time because it's a dog community. Everybody, all of our neighbors have dogs. So they're constantly out 24 hours a day. But this one particular guy, he gets, what they call it, that power walk where you kind of like switch like that.
Yeah.
He does that and he just be in the zone. And I was just like,
Something ain't right.
He eat people. There's, no, he burned them calories off. No, let me tell you, I'm telling you, then he does it, and he goes like in this circle, and then you would try to be nice, and Courtney say, "Hi, how are you?" You know, like a neighborly thing. He don't speak. He just be focused. He be focused next. What are you thinking about so hard, bro?
Yeah, he probably thinking about you. He probably know more about you than you do about
Yeah.
him.
I'm
He
just
probably went through your trash. He probably know when your cycle starts and all that shit.
Walk to the trash.
Oh, she coming out. Let me go.
Right.
Sitting around like, oh, she just fished today. All right.
Like literally, like this dude is so weird, but you don't also want to pick with people. Just looking at him, you just be like, you wonder like, what is your story? But I go deeper than that. I be wondering like, how was his childhood? Like, what made you be like this? Because he be so focused, he doesn't speak, he doesn't look at, he don't make eye contact. I literally go deep because I always refer back to my childhood that made and molded me into who I am today. So I always be wondering like, what was their childhood? What made them like this?
You never know. Crazy story. I don't know if you remember. Years ago, I think I had to been like 17, 18. It was a guy that was going around shooting white people on a bike. BMX bike.
I do remember that.
I worked with this guy. This is back when I was working at MBNA. I used to go over to this guy's house, and this is a prime example. If you don't know someone, no matter how much you hang with them, I had been in his house. He was black Muslim. He didn't like Jews, white people. Didn't even like light skinned people. I don't even know how I made it.
How did you make it?
I didn't even know how I made it in there. But we was cool. And one day, it was one day right before the police raided his house. You want mommy? Oh, mommy. Oh, no, we gotta give mommy. Okay, I'm sorry. One day, we were sitting in his house. He showed me this book on how to make a silence. I don't think nothing about it. We all, people looking at things. You don't think anything
I'll be
much.
right there too. Like, what is it?
Right, looking and checking it out. Then he had showed me a gun. One thing my brother taught me was if a person, you don't never touch somebody's gun, then your prints on it. And he had put gloves on before he pulled it out. Didn't think nothing of it, okay? Next thing I know, Channel 8 News, BMX bike killer over in Shaker Heights on Avalon Road.
Were you in
Showed his house. No, I wasn't.
Oh.
I was actually at my girl house when I saw the news. And it was crazy because the news showed the book, the gun. I had seen the bike that he was riding. And before he got caught, he had called me and asked to borrow money to catch the Greyhound somewhere. And I was like, no, I ain't got it. Listen.
He's trying to get out of town.
Listen.
He's trying to get out of town on your dime.
On my dime. I remember telling my girl, because she knew him, I was like, oh my God, we was in the presence of a killer. He out here hopping on a BMX bike shooting people.
I feel like I remember this.
Yeah, it was, I had been like 17, 18. It was huge. He was literally at night just getting on his bike and going and shooting people. And you never would have think he had mental issues or anything. He seemed like a normal person. Like, I would give him rides home from work. Yeah. So it's like you never know who you are encountering at all. And I'm like, that's why it's like I think I like Criminal Minds and things like that, because now I just be like,
because you need to be aware of your surroundings. Like, you have to be aware of your surroundings because you don't know, like, not to keep bringing it up, but just like Anthony Sowell, like, look at that. Who would have ever thought?
Listen, Anthony Sowell had a copycat, and most people forget about that. That dude, I grew up in a neighborhood that dude was leaving the bodies in.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, listen, the time he doing this, like, this is like just out. I'm still like around that time, around that neighborhood. I'm still over there on the field, like at the football field, and he like a block away from there, dumping these girls in the abandoned house.
I know he was at.
Yeah, man.
Right there.
Yeah.
You go straight there.
Yeah. Like this, man. And I mean, it's even more people than that though. And it's like there was a guy, Samuel Little, who kill more than both of them dudes.
Wow.
They don't even, no one even talks about this guy.
But that name sounds so familiar.
This
though.
man
It
is
does.
big.
I don't remember his though. I just know somewhere, but that name.
No, this guy, and I'm not gonna get deep into a true crime, but like they have him up to kill the 96 women. Like yeah, he did this throughout the 70s up until he got caught.
But I was gonna say, don't forget they have tied Anthony so well to bodies when he was serving in the army, so we really don't even know his true. We really don't know his true body count for real because they said that when he was serving, bodies was coming up missing where he was at, and they stopped once he left and got discharged. So don't forget, we don't even know what his true body count is because everywhere he was stationed, women was coming.
I'm sorry, that was man or women was missing.
Just the women.
Just
yeah, Anthony. So yeah, everywhere he was stationed, women was coming up missing left and right, and then as soon as he would, get discharged, and when he would get sent home, it would just stop. So we really can't even pinpoint.
I mean, yeah, he did that.
So that leads me to my question for you guys. When you were dating, even your husband, your significant other, your wife, did you vet them? And what I mean by vet is, did you look into them? Because, like, I told him up front, when me and him met, if I Google your name, what's going to come up?
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a situation where I met a guy, was dating him, and ended up Googling him, and he was like a registered child offender. It was a whole nother name. And it was just like, oh no, I got a kid.
So I definitely, when me and my husband first met and we were and we decided to get serious, I definitely was Googling. Because I wanted to know who I was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Because you never really know. And I can honestly say I didn't find nothing. Like my husband don't even got a record. He's never even been in jail. Nice. You know what I'm saying? He's never even been in jail. So I did. But I do that with anybody I was dating because I need to know who in my space. I don't need them kind of interviews around me, baby.
Now women do it, but do men do it?
So I don't. But I mean, here's the thing. I felt like way more confident about it all when after meeting like your family and stuff. I think when you meet siblings that you grew up with, and like when I meet your mom, and it's like when all of that's cool, it's like all right, like you know what I'm saying? You feel a little bit more at ease. Cause it's like, hey, you ain't too much you're gonna get by me when it's like I know your direct siblings, I know your parents. It's like, hey, look, if it's something fishy, it's like I'm gonna come to y'all. Hey, so is it something that y'all not telling me?
Really going
Yeah.
And because you have to ask, and now with this day and age where everybody is changing their gender, changing everything. Q can vouch for it. Remember that guy I was dating that turned out to be a woman?
First of all,
no.
So let me tell you. Let me tell my 2 cents.
Okay, tell your story.
Let me tell my 2 cents. Okay. I am personally skeptical of any and everybody. That's just how I am. I am naturally like that. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. So, when Kiana first told me about this individual, I said, Kiana, I'm saying now, something ain't right. She was like, no, he's really nice. Okay. Every time she would tell me something about this individual, I'm just like, something just ain't sitting right in my spirit, Jesus. And so, I'm gonna let her tell the story. But this one particular, when she finally told me what had happened, I told her I knew all along something was up with this individual. I personally felt that Kiana was being a little too nice, and she knew the whole time that this individual was really a woman.
She didn't want to believe it.
Yeah, and I personally feel like that. I personally feel like that Kiana was being nice and knew that this person was actually a woman, and she just didn't know how to tell them like, hey, the jig is up, but it's okay because I genuinely like you. Instead, she let this delusional person think that they were basically catfishing her when the whole time it's like, no, she knew the whole time because I knew just based off the story.
All right, let me tell you the story. Now, we all grown here, except for the babies. But we all grown, so let me tell you the story. I met the guy on social media.
I met the person.
I met the person on a dating app. This is when dating apps first started coming out. Okay? We went on a date. They identified as a he. Everything was going good. The first time we hung out, they took their shirt off, and I didn't pay it. I saw it, the marks. You know, when the mistake, but it didn't click in my head. So the person kept saying, "I have something to tell you, but I want to wait." And I remember calling her, and I was like, the person keeps saying they want to tell me something. Like, what is it? I'm like, you got AIDS? You got something?
That's something. I'm a woman.
Yes. So what happened was, we were at the house. We decided to engage in adult activities. When the adult activities started.
Hey, wait, real quick, before you finish that story, I feel like that is probably the biggest red flag that you can ever have. Is somebody telling you the words, "I need to tell you something." That is the biggest red flag.
That's just like saying we need to talk.
Yes. Okay.
We need to talk.
That's the same. That's the same as you. That's the same as you being out with them, and then you see somebody notice them and act weird, but they try to ignore it.
Like, I know you see it.
We both see the same thing. Like, I saw you see me see that. Like,
And it's funny her finish this. Funny you said this is practice. So
Please let her finish.
as we're engaging in adult activities, it was only from the back, and it never flipped over. Never took the person's shorts off. Nothing. How I figured out this person wasn't who they said they was, because as your men, you know when you in. He was talking and didn't know he was in. Then when he finished, when he got up to go, he went directly to the bathroom. I just happened to turn over and I saw a strap hanging, and I was like, and he took a bag with him to the bathroom. And then when I went to the bathroom, I saw nothing was in the condom. It was in the bathroom in the toilet. And that's when I was like, wait a minute.
And she instantly called
I
me.
did.
Not to
At 3 in the
interrupt
morning.
her conversation.
At 3 in the morning, I called her.
And not to interrupt her story, but when I tell you I was so upset, and I said, so why did you let her continue to think that you didn't know that she was she?
Yeah, why is
No, it didn't feel natural. So, to answer the question, this is where the crazy part comes. I waited about a week, and then I asked. I said, "Hey, you got something you want to tell me?" And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Well, I saw the strap." And he was like, "Oh, so you waited to say something?" This is not my place to tell your story.
Yeah, you can't be indignant when you call.
Oh,
Like, you
Yeah,
can't.
you
Audacity.
So,
You're
that's
mad. You're mad.
You're mad, bro.
You mad?
How are you mad at me? Because I didn't want to tell you. I'm waiting on you to tell me the story. Here's where it gets even interesting. So he goes on. I knew this was a lie. He says, she says,
she at this point.
she said she was a hermaphrodite. For those that don't know what that is, hermaphrodite, yes. Those that don't know what it is, that means they got both parts. And she said that she used that because the other one doesn't work.
Hey, real quick, say it again.
No. Don't do that.
I was waiting for someone to say it like,
Don't do that to me on my. But it was like, this is the excuse that you're giving me. Now I'm pissed off. She's laughing at me. My best friend was like, "That's what happens when you don't get fellatio first." Oh, my best friend was like, "This is what happens when you don't get fellatio first. You need to."
I was almost like, that's what you get, because I'm definitely the one friend that will, I told you so you to death.
Yeah.
I told
Oh
you
my
so.
God. She didn't let it go.
I did.
Didn't let it go.
And I'm glad that you reminded me, because that's what I'm going to call you and say tomorrow.
Don't do that.
Just saying.
So it definitely is one of those. I definitely learned the lesson. One, I need to vet. I need everything. I need to see her ID, birth certificate. And it was crazy because when his sister, she come over, it was like he put me in a room. Let me meet the sister. No, he would always say, "Oh, wait."
Oh yeah, because this
We
is
get close.
You know,
I
you know what it is?
remember that.
Yeah,
And I thought that was so strange.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Because this was a day and age probably before pronouns, and the sister was probably using she hers all the
Yeah.
time.
She. And it's like now, older Kiana sits back and think about it. Like, there wasn't no pictures in your house, no No, nothing. It was like, where's your pictures of you and your family or something? This is your house. And it's crazy because, like you said, had the audacity to be an attitude at me. And it's like, this is your story to tell. So it's like, I feel like now, first of all, the dating pool is disgusting right now.
You probably mad because she probably,
She.
I'm
Nah,
just
it was crazy.
He probably mad because she didn't get up.
I listen. I don't even know. I don't.
That's
Probably.
at this point. At this point, that's beside the point. I would have rather. My thing is this. Now that this is like a new, everybody is, I am this, hear me roar.
Yes.
My thing is, you do owe that person the respect to tell them, hey, there's never, y'all should have never made it to that point without her letting you know, like, look, I want to be completely, honest with you and let you know I used to be a woman, but I live my life as a man now. Because when I look at other podcasts and other interviews, a lot of them are so hell-bent on feeling like, well, I don't have to express that part of my life. Why not? I need to know what I'm getting myself into.
Let me
make that
choice.
Keisha, and now you can. I need to know what you
that was supposed to be off rip before you got the number.
Yes.
Hey, I was a girl. I'm trying to
transition.
In other
transition
words,
to a man. So
in other
that's
words,
supposed to be off rip.
in other words, let me make that decision. Don't make it for
And that's what I told that individual. I was like, you took away the opportunity for me to even make the decision. You don't know what I was into. I could have been into that. I could have been down for it. But But because you took that away from me, it's like I no longer can deal with you. Because like you lied about this, what else you lied about?
Right.
And that's major.
See, this reminds me of a movie. Spike Lee joint. I don't know how many people familiar with She Hate Me.
Oh yeah, with
Anthony
Mackie.
Mackie.
Yeah.
Old school movie. What happens is he walks in. The movie begins. He walks in on his wife having sex with another woman. The movie ends with her essentially them confront each other, and then she being like, "Well, any other dude would have been. They would have been excited for that. They would have loved that." But his problem was, hey, you didn't give me that choice.
Yeah.
I didn't have that choice.
Yeah.
You just did that shit.
Yeah.
It was like, it was cheating regardless. And you didn't give me that choice.
And you'll be surprised how many men really don't even get turned on by that.
They don't,
want that. You'll be so surprised about so many men that that's not even their fantasy. So you can't expect this person to automatically be like, oh yeah, I'm a girl, and we don't even have a hoorah.
That goes all the way back to say
the energy.
that goes all the way back to saying that like dudes is more complex than that. Like we not just Neanderthals that would see that and it's just like, oh sweet. Like no, that's not. You know what I'm saying?
It is funny because that's one of my topics. So I want y'all to hold that tight for another day because like I definitely want to dig more into that because in this new age of error, polygamy is huge. You see so many reality shows for
Not just polygamy.
sister wives and now they got the husband.
I mean, not just polygamy, but I mean the complete opposite. People being able to be asexual, people that are out here and I mean, listen, I don't understand it, but I mean, hey, that is your thing. Like, if you feel like you don't want anyone,
and that's totally fine. I feel like I love to research things. I don't just like to speak on anything.
yes.
So when we do have this conversation about polygamy, I want to bring in how in other cultures, yes, they do believe in multiple wives.
Yes.
You can have as many wives as you can take care of. So this new mindset of polygamy is a man who wants to have multiple women and everybody going in on bills and food, etc. But in other cultures, no, baby. If you got 5 wives and you can only take care of 2 of them, guess what? You're only going to have 2 wives.
Yes.
So everybody's like, no, because we all get bread. No, baby, that's not what originally it was meant for. It was originally meant for a man to have as many wives as he can take care of.
Yes.
So this mindset of, oh no, we all gonna get this bread, we all gonna get this money, we all gonna live happy ever after. No. Because that's not originally what it was.
You know where all that comes from though? It's like all of those things come from a day and age where like there were more women, eligible women than dudes.
Yeah.
Like just in general.
And
like,
I get it.
And I mean, it was like one dude he had all of the resources to be able to have that many wives.
Right.
And it's like, there was, listen, there might not have been another dude in like 5 miles that could have, you know what I'm saying, that's the same. But it's like, we have the option. We got the option now to go anywhere in the world we want to go.
Yeah.
We have the option to like speak, to talk to whoever we want, wherever on this planet. So it's like it's like that kind of dynamic has changed.
Yeah.
And it's like that's kind of what messes it up nowadays. Is that like we don't live in a day and age where it's just like, oh yeah, like you get 5 wives because yeah they can't find anyone else. No, they got options, man.
They got options.
If I may intercept,
Yes.
you know, because I deal with a group of Moors here on Monday, and then my cousin.
I want to see. Can I see one of those?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm coming.
Absolutely. And then my cousin out in California, you know, he was one of the first ones to introduce this piece of my brain that still current day it would never have it, but they want to refer to the Bible. They're like, I think Abraham. It was Abraham, and one of them that had several wives. It's in the Bible. And I'm like, is disease in the Bible too? Because that's what happens when y'all start slapping all these uglies since the kids are gone now. When y'all start slapping all these uglies up against each other. So like y'all forgot all about that. And I'm sure they didn't speak of that back then because it was killing them.
But now it's something huge. And even, not even in polygamy. When you are single and just sleeping with multiple people. That person that you slept with, you done slept with whoever she slept with. Or he slept with. It's wrap
hey, but, you know, also, whenever people bring up the Bible, we realize that we all are kind of like beyond the age the average age that people live to in the biblical age. So
absolutely,
like their lives was just that fast, and it's like, hey, you think about things differently because we got more time with it.
But I also feel like people only want to use the Bible when they want
it's
to.
convenient.
Yes.
They don't even want to, like, and this is coming from a person where I am a spiritual person. I'm not very religious. I've never read the Bible front and back, but my grandparents.
It's an interesting read.
Yeah, but I feel like people pick and choose what they want to conform and like their shenanigans around. That's just like, I once again do a lot of research. A lot of people misinterpret the one passage that says "Come as you are." That don't mean come in here with a mink skirt up your behind.
That's
that
right. Come on now.
That don't mean come with your bosoms out down to here to try to entice. Come as you are, meaning if you are on drugs, if you are that alcoholic, if you're that adulterer, that means come to the altar as you are, and I will still and I will save you. That don't mean come in here with your club clothes on because it says come with you. That's not what it means. But when people want to make it for what they want to make it for, they just want to be like, oh, listen to the Bible. That's not what it says.
That's why I say it's such an interesting.
Everybody do use that.
Yes,
everybody does use that.
Back in the day, and I know Marie, you could probably. When you went to church, if you got a dress or a skirt on above your knees, my grandma used to pull out a scarf. What you doing? What are you doing?
Somebody pull. Let me talk to you, baby.
Come here, sweetie. Let me make you more. What's the line?
He had his own church. He did not play that. My grandmother, Bishop Jim Lee Brown, and Lily Ann Brown. They was the first. Yes, they literally Second Zion Spiritual Temple. He did not play that. Your skirt was to here. Grandma.
Come here. What they say? Come here. Let me make you more mysterious.
Okay.
She'd be like, let me make you more mysterious.
So that's why I've always known that that's not what that passage meant because no, y'all are making it to justify you wanting to come in here with fishnets on and a see-through top. You trying to snag somebody up in here, sister, because that's not what that passage means. That passage does not mean coming here with everything hanging out, skin hanging out, flesh hanging out. No, you're trying to tempt somebody. That's not what that means. But if you come in here unwhole and you coming in here with some trials and tribulations, then you come with that.
And it is crazy because that's why now you see more of these pastors and these cheating scandals because they messing with the young lady that's came in here in her nightclub dress. And opening her legs.
Nowadays they messing with young boys.
That is true. That is true.
I'm about to say that's not nowadays. No, they're just being exposed now.
Yes.
We are in an exposing era.
Yes.
Everybody wants to expose everybody. This been going on. Pastor and First Lady been having problems since back in the 70s, but it's just now coming out because everybody everybody wants to address their mental health now. Everybody wants to express their childhood traumas and molestations. And so we found out, oh yeah, you've been messing with me since I was 7 years old.
Think about the stuff with the Catholic Church.
Yeah,
that's been going on since the 1800s.
A lifetime, the 1800s.
No, I mean, probably before then. I mean, probably before then. But it was just like it's to our current knowledge is just like that's as much as we think about it. But it's like, yo, this stuff been going on for so long. It's like even the Bible itself. It's like it is a good thing to like as a rule to like live your life by. But it's like it's not something that I believe is supposed to be taken as such literal as people put it. And it's like I really think that it's like. When you think about the structure of the Bible, how many different people have books? How many different people have pastors? How many different people? How many people?
So many variations.
But then think about it this way: if there were like 50 people, are you really going to like listen to every single thing one of them has to say and live your life by?
No,
you're not about to. Like you're gonna take bits and pieces, and you're gonna live, and that's how I think we should do. It's like, hey, look, man, every single thing, because it says crazy stuff in it. Like there's a passage in the Bible that says that if your brother was to die, that you are not responsible for his wife and children. And it's like that is a part of the Bible. And it's like, yo, there's all kind of crazy things in it. And it's like, I don't think
y'all like that's breaking bro code.
Right. That's nowadays we're found on that.
Yes.
And it's like that's why it's like, hey, not everything should be something literal. It's something that you should absolutely like. Read, know it, cool, like, man, but it's just like, you shouldn't be out here trying to live by the exact code of what they say. Because we even got the 10 Commandments wrong because we forget that English was not what it was written in. And it's been translated till now we can read it. So it's like, things get lost in translation.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's slavery in the Bible.
Man, that you can beat your slave within an inch of his life as long as what you beating him with isn't as wide as your thumb. That is in the Bible.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
And I didn't even know that.
That is not God.
That is not.
And it's crazy because we had our issues. Me and Skip have been going through fertility.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was working at Marymount, which is a Catholic hospital.
Oh, boy.
And because it was a Catholic hospital, we got through the whole process all the way up to where we were supposed to go do our IUI. And my insurance denied it because Catholics don't believe in doing fertility treatment.
Wow, that is crazy.
It is. They believe that a baby that is born through fertility is the devil.
Ooh.
And I didn't know this until I started researching it because it's like, how can you deny a married couple, right, that medically has issues to not be able to procreate? And they were really like, we couldn't even go to another facility with our insurance. And the more I looked into it, you can't get birth. They won't give you birth control. They will not circumcise you. They won't even give you a hysterectomy there. They don't. Catholics don't believe in any of that. And I really was at a point.
I was about to say something really
I was actually.
I mean, what's crazy is hysterectomies is something that is like, it's not necessarily always something to prevent pregnancy.
Yeah.
That is medically, like,
necessary.
Yes. And it's crazy because
it is necessary.
It is necessary. What frustrated me the most about it was, as hard as Catholics were on that situation, they would treat a transgender individual.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like, you updated your beliefs to deal with transgender people, but you won't update your beliefs for a couple that's trying to conceive.
Give life, yeah.
And I thought that was so crazy. And that's the Bible of them believing.
That's because it sucks, but in American culture, women are old hat, man. Trans people are new victims now.
So,
women can have careers. Trans people, they're victims now, right?
You know, in this new world, I can't even consider myself a woman anymore. I have to be considered, a breeder. A bleeder.
Whatever.
You're
a woman, a lady, a girl.
Right. Because it's like, it's so crazy that it's like, they're willing to go ahead, they're willing to make it so it's like, you guys have to be subjugated. But it's like, there are people that, it's like, listen, I don't care if you're trans, if you are, be it, fine. But it's like, why do you feel like you have to infringe on something that already is.
Naturally,
you can be a
yeah.
trans person, and that's fine.
Knowing
Like,
they
you can do
naturally
that.
can't do anything we can do.
You know,
It's like,
when I tell you I started watching like the TikToks or whatever.
Mhm.
These people are like really, really like not all of them, but the new age of the transgender are so like, how are you going to come in my face and tell me I can't call myself a woman? I know you guys all heard how they're trying to ban Aretha Franklin's Natural Woman.
Yes.
Because they saying that it's going to offend trans women to the point where they can't that they'll get attacked. They said that what's a natural woman? You can't tell what a natural woman is, and then they said, but the song is basically stating that this man is making her feel like a natural woman. It's a feeling.
I think that song existed before trans people. They shouldn't have any right to try and say that it's
But you want to know
not. It
what's
existed before they had this kind of social calling to like try and make that kind of move. And it's like, if that was something from the past 10, 15 years, maybe you can have something to say. That song is, come on.
What, decades old.
It's the same argument as when people were getting upset about Baby It's Cold Outside. This is an old song. Let it go, man. Let it go.
So, great topic. I think I'm going to have to put that down as a list.
Yes.
We circle back on that again. We're going to wrap this up here. I have to say, Jeremy, Queen, I've enjoyed you guys. I think this was such a great. I think this was such a great episode.
I like you real cool.
Both you guys are always welcome back. Please let them know if you would like them to know social media, Queen, how to reach you. Or
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
Okay.
I don't accept, girl. I got like 800 people trying to follow me now, honey.
See,
I ain't trying to
yeah.
that's
What's
Queen for you.
What's crazy is it's too late. Like, your face is out there.
Out there.
Like,
Wave to the world.
people gonna find you. Oh, they gonna
That's
find
the
you.
last time y'all gonna see me. I don't have no social media.
Yes.
Wow.
But
You gotta be here.
No, I got a whole Facebook page.
I'm about to say, oh, you know
Jeremy
that.
Robinson. Look it up. It's on.
and of course, a special thanks to my baby B-Dub back there. He was so good.
You were great.
You were so
Thank
awesome.
you for having us. This was really fun. I really appreciate it. The conversation was stimulating. So who knows? I might come back and grace y'all.
Please come back and grace us again. As I wrap this up, of course, you know you can find us on Facebook at FNA Radio Show. You can find us on Instagram at FNA Radio Show. We will repost these videos. And next time, I'm going to actually give out the call-in number so we can have people communicate with us.
Yeah, we forgot all
Because I
that.
would love to hear small side opinion.
That's how you know we had such a good episode that we forgot to give the call-out number.
Yes, and you guys will be on longer next week.
Yes, we would definitely.
Because I'm about to say, Maria, I'm gonna tell my gauge on how good we doing is if we can get you to engage. Like,
Yeah, when you start talking, that's how you know we doing
Okay.
oh, we intriguing. She had a child.
So we will see you guys next Friday, 5:30 to 7. Hopefully a little longer. Enjoy this Good Friday. Happy Easter. Thank you guys again.
Have a good day.
Have a good
Peace, love,
day.
and happiness.
Happy New Year.
Peace. Bye.
Everybody.
Everybody. He said everybody.
This was dope. I like it.
You did so good.
Yeah, even though I feel like that's gonna be something that's gonna definitely people gonna have some shit to say about me saying that shit about trans people.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah. Oh
But,
yeah.
But it's like I don't have nothing against them.
I don't have nothing. You know
I
what?
just wish that they would be like
When I
pushing.
scratch that surface, I don't mind having like we have to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't mind sitting down and talking to you. But when I'm watching videos where you're telling me that I can't refer to myself as a woman anymore
and then
because it's offensive to
We're
you,
being called cisgender. Like I ain't cis nothing. I'm a woman. Period.
That's what, and that's my
That's
thing.
crazy.
It's like, hey man, you guys are the ones who are coming and being this new thing. Why do we have to have a
Exactly. You're trying to find yourself. We're not trying to find ourselves. You're trying to figure out who you are and your place in this world.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like y'all can't be the victims all goddamn
No,
time.
no.
Not at all.
And y'all
That
gotta
shit.
suck it up. You chose to change your
That's why.
life.
That's why it was crazy.
you chose it, so you knew it was going to come with some backlash.
Exactly.
Especially when you're telling me that I'm a breeder, I'm a bleeder, I'm a chest feeder. You can't even say breastfeed. Men have breasts. It's called breast.
For real, how you think you got here? And you're nothing. How about that? You know, like, what's your contribution to this? Right. Period. Like nothing. Outside of just being a changed person, like you like.
So I'm willing to talk about it.
Yeah, me too. Because you ain't gonna keep offending me. Trying to change the world for what you see it as, and it don't work like that because that ain't how we got here.
Right. It is crazy.
Hey, baby.
Don't keep me out. My baby got some good snacks.
I got it's okay. It's okay. Everybody, this is Stacy. This is Kiana. Oh, that's her husband. She welcome to the BBW show. We'd like to thank you for tuning in to FNA radio show. Lord have mercy, reading the old title. Look at here. We'd like to thank you guys for tuning in to FNA radio show with your host Kiana and Skip here on the station where we don't bring no static, but we sure don't bring the noise. NoStaticRadio.net. Make sure you guys check us out on social media where we absolutely love to hear from you on Facebook.com/No Static Radio LLC, on Twitter at No Static_radio, on Instagram at TheReal_No Static Radio, and on YouTube at No Static Radio. Also, if you guys would like to listen to replays of this show and others on NoStaticRadio.net, please make sure you check us out on Mixler or Mixcloud.com. Just type in No Static Radio in the toolbar for replays of this show and all others on the platform. And for all things No Static Radio, including, take that back. And for continuous streaming, please check us out on TuneIn.com, live on LiveRadio.net, or MediaQ for continuous streaming of this show and all others on the platform uninterrupted. And for all things on Static Radio, including up-and-coming events, merchandise, and an in-depth look at all our great shows here, please check out our website at www.nostaticradio.net. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and stay tuned. Coming up next, we got Stacey Stacks with Welcome to the BBW Show back in the building here on your voice of the revolution, NoStaticRadio.net, powered by Google, partner with Colors, and sponsored by Lamont Avenue Wines and Hot Girls Gear. You guys stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I gotta get my I haven't done the radio in so long, like in that kind of fashion. I gotta get my radio.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good.
Come back over and been there, but you must have you out.
Can you pass my cup down for me? Oh, that's good, girl. Thank you, darling. Oh, you know, respectful. Take your face.
Not yet. Not yet, Stacy. Y'all have a good one. Call me if y'all need anything.
Have a happy Easter.
You too, hon. Call me if y'all need anything. Okay. You're welcome, hon. Thank you.